So I'm going to hit the record button if that's okay. So then that way some of the ladies and gentlemen can pop on if they need to. So people will probably be popping on here as we go along. I'll try to keep them muted just in case because I know like kids and everything pop in. But welcome, ladies. I'm super excited to see you guys' faces tonight. We have lots of new coaches on, which are super awesome. We have a guest speaker. His name is Brad. I actually used to follow him through like my Beachbody journey because I think it's just absolutely incredible, like that market that's out there for like the males and like just trying to get my husband to like figure out how to do that as well. But I love mindset, and since you guys know I work with, different coaches and stuff. I absolutely love mindset. I think it's an incredible thing. I think it's good for you, even though like on your fitness journey, but also in the business. That's really what has like been that light switch for me. And so when Brad reached out, I was like, absolutely, like, please come talk with our team. Just because I feel like January is always awesome, and February, March, and April are like those months that you need to grind and like put the pedal to the metal and make things happen. And so with that being said, Brad, I'm going to let you unmute yourself and take it away.
Sweet. Can you guys hear me? Is that coming through? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. What is going on, everyone? I am so freaking excited to speak to you guys tonight. I am beyond pumped. And first of all, I want you guys to know I do not take this opportunity lightly. And my goal tonight is to bring you above and beyond value to master this thing, to master that thing that goes on between your ears, all that negative self-talk, those limiting beliefs, that crap that holds you back from living a life less than you know you're meant to. And so I want you to know that tonight I will not betray your trust. This is time you cannot get back. So we're going to make sure this is absolutely packed with value, loaded with value. And before we get rocking and rolling, like make sure the phones are on silent, make sure the Instagram stories, like you got to take the picture now, post it later, do that. Whatever you got to do, just be fully present here, put the kids in the closet, whatever you have to do. I promise you it will be worth it if you spend your time with this. So let's start with some participation. What is a really big goal that you have in 2019? Type that into the chat box right now. What's a really big goal that you have? And as you're typing that in, there's a really cool thing about this goal. There's a recipe to making it happen, right? There's ingredients, and in that recipe, you whip them up in the right way, you get that result, right? So 15-star diamond team, superstar, I love it. Keep them going, guys. Like there's these amazing goals. And so people have done this before, right? There's a recipe to make it happen. You know how to make it happen. There's a simple strategy involved. But something you might miss along the way is that how you use your ingredients in that recipe is what matters. What does that mean? That means that if your mindset is off, you're going to set a 2019 goal based out of fear instead of based out of who you want to become. It means that you could invite 1 billion people, but if your mindset is off, you're going to repel them. It means you can have the best training for your team in the world, but if your mindset is off, they're not going to do anything. In fact, how many of you have ever said to yourself, like, why isn't my team growing? Like, I'm doing everything I can, right? Or something like that. You're going to learn why on this call. Like, you can put hours and hours and hours into a support group for your clients, but if your mindset is off, they're not going to feel like you're actually trying to help them. So the point of me saying that is what goes on in your mind, your self-talk, your mindset is by far and above the most important piece out of all of this. And you've heard that before, right? You've heard do 10 minutes of personal growth a day. You've heard the cliche quotes, change your thinking, change your life. But has anyone ever actually taught you how to change your thinking? Especially when you're in a place when things are not going well. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So instead of just knowing it, you're going to learn how to apply it even when things are not going well, when you're either dropping in rank or Miss Success Club or whatever it is. And by the way, guys, I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years. So I know exactly what you guys go through, and Beachbody led me to my all-time passion, which is inspirational speaking and mindset coaching. And I had to follow that passion. It's what I'm meant to do with my life. And it's the only reason I'm not still coaching. Coaching is absolutely incredible. And it's one of the most amazing things that ever happened in my life. So I totally get what you go through as far as mindset is concerned. I was stuck in my business for a really long time and then built a 5-star diamond organization. Like I've seen both sides of it. So where does that negative self-talk come from? The negative self-talk that keeps you stuck in the place that you are right now. Where does that come from? And I'm going to show you with a couple stories where my 2 biggest limiting beliefs, where my negative self-talk came from. And just 2 of many, right? And then I'm going to show you how I took them and changed it into an amazing tool for success. And that's what we're going to do tonight. And you might not be able to relate to these stories. That's okay. But as I go through them, try to think of where in your life you have a limiting belief or you hold yourself back in some way. So growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood. And it gave me some really screwed up beliefs about how life is. I'm curious, type yes if you can relate to the topic of money stress at any point in your life, whether past or present. Money stress. Okay, me too. It was a huge limiting factor in my life for the longest time. And I remember growing up, my parents would fight about money almost every single day. There was always a limitation. There was some form of, we can't afford that. Some form of, you spent how much money on what, right? Like just a disconnect. And I remember this one fight. I was probably like 10 years old or something. And my parents were fighting about why the bank account was overdrawn. Again, like this happened almost every day. No hyperbole, like almost every day. And I remember going up to my mom and I was like, Mommy, why are you and Dad fighting about money again? Or why do you guys always have to fight about stupid money? And she goes, shut the fuck up, go to your room. I don't need you around me right now. Like just caught up in the moment, really heated, mean, right? That's typically how things went in conversations at home. And then my dad comes over with a soap dispenser and starts pouring soap on my mom's neck and down her back and on her head. And I remember sitting there going, whoa, did money cause this? Like, why is this happening in my family? My brother and I are crying. We don't know if we should be mad at Mom for saying mean things to us. We don't know if we should be mad at Dad for taking the argument up a level. It was the closest thing we ever saw to a physical altercation. And I just hated money because whenever it came up, it seemed like someone was about to get punched in the face. So you can imagine when I started my business, I had these really big goals and big dreams of what I wanted to create. But money is bad. Do you see the disconnect there? See how that is going to kind of hold you back in some way? You want to go that way, but you're held this way. It's like chains around your ankles, right? That's where I started. I was afraid of having money because I thought it ripped relationships apart. I thought it made you a bad person. I thought people like me didn't deserve it. And on top of the money, I had an incredibly turbulent relationship with my mom. And by the way, how many of you type yes if you can relate to a turbulent relationship with a family member at any point in your life, whether past or present? If that's you, we're totally going to relate in a lot of ways here. Now, I love my mom. Very, very good person. Deep down, cares a lot about people, deep down, but has like a really effed up way of showing it, right? And I've forgiven her for the pain of my past. I've forgiven her for those things. I still have to continue to forgive her, right? But I didn't realize at the time that she was loving me in the only way she knew how. I didn't realize that the way that she treated me was one of the best gifts I ever received because it created me. But this one memory happened over and over and over again. And it would be when I got home from school. I was probably, 10, 12 years old. I don't remember. But I'd walk in the door and I'd see Mom puffing on a cigarette and playing like a game on the computer, like the equivalent of Farmville back in the 90s, whatever that is, right? And I remember sometimes it was a, hey, sweetie, how's your day going? But most of the time it was a, why are you talking to me? Most of the time it was a, shut up and go away. Most of the time it was a, I don't need your opinion. Most of the time it was a, like, just get away from me right now. And that was the vibe of me growing up. Like, I always wondered, why doesn't my mom love me? And obviously she did. She just had a really messed up way of showing it. But my point in that is I grew up never feeling worthy of her love. I always craved it, deeply craved it. And so you can imagine if I grew up with this feeling of inadequacy or feeling of not being enough when I'm trying to build this massive business and make this massive change and inspire people to change their life, but I'm not enough. Right? Do you see the disconnect there? See how that could cause some problems? So where can you relate to that, right? You might have a totally different story, but those were my two biggest limiting beliefs. Money equals pain, and I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, right? So how many of you feel in some way, type yes if this is you, where you feel like you're not worthy or not enough to achieve your biggest dreams, right? That was what I had to break through. That's what we're going to start to talk about tonight. So when we're little, we're incredibly impressionable. And it's in those times that your belief about your abilities and yourself, they start to take shape. So when I started my Beachbody business 6 years ago, it didn't matter how many people I invited. It didn't matter how many social media posts I put up. Everything was forced. If I could sum up how I felt for most of my Beachbody coaching career before I figured things out, the word was stuck. Like, how many of you feel kind of stuck in some way? That's where I was. I was just stuck. And I couldn't stand it. And my team was never matching the effort that I was putting in. I was like, dude, you have all the tools that you need. Why aren't you doing this? And so it didn't matter what I did. It was just always stuck. And I would literally see myself face to face with my deepest fear, which was mediocrity. And I had to figure out how to fix that. And I went on a journey of changing my entire life. I went on a journey of getting over those limiting beliefs and negative self-talk and all that stuff that was getting in the way of my leadership ability. And that journey led me to the creation of my online course that I'll talk to you guys about at the end. That program is how I changed my whole life. That's how I got unstuck physically, financially, everything. So why I tell you this is because when I tried to build a business, the overwhelming amount of negative self-talk, the secret obstacles that were going on up here that I didn't even realize were there, and the lack of belief stopped me from achieving what I wanted. And I can't go over all of how to break through it in 1 hour. That's what the program is for. But if you take this call really seriously, you're going to learn 3 of the major steps that I took to exploding my life. So number 1, write this down. Your thoughts are always the reason. Your thoughts are always the reason. The first thing you can do is change the way you think. And you've heard that before a million times, right? You've heard change your thinking, change your life. Every personal growth book in the world says that. But have you ever been taught how to change your thinking when things aren't going well? That's what we're going to talk about today. So you start to tell yourself these stories, right? Money is bad. Building a team is hard. It's so much easier for Megan. I can't do this. I'm not enough. Whatever it is, and you say that crap enough times, you actually start to believe it. So, for example, have you ever been at a party? This is kind of funny. Well, at least I think it's funny. Have you ever been at a party over the years? And to sound cooler than you actually are, you exaggerate a story a little bit. Like you just life up a story a little bit more, and you start sharing things like if you caught a fish that wasn't 6 inches long, it was 3 feet long, whatever it is, right? You make something up to get more laughs or more attention. And so you get more laughs or more attention. And then next time you come back to the party, you exaggerate it a little bit more with more conviction. And now it's 5 years into the future and you don't know what part of that story is bullshit or not. Like you just say it with so much conviction and truth. And then sometimes you sit there and you go, is that even true? I don't even know. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? The same thing happens with negative self-talk. Only instead of it being a fun party topic, it will sabotage your entire life. So what happens is this is like your default software, your limiting beliefs, your starting point. And you go through life believing these BS stories because you've said them so many times. I don't know enough people. You say it enough times, you actually start to believe it. I'm too fat. You say it enough times, guess what? You end up gaining weight. I'm not a business person. When you say this crap enough times, or I'm not enough, you can see how that would play ball in your life. It would hurt your life, right? So how many of you feel sometimes like you're forcing people to do something? That comes from your beliefs. And you're gonna learn how tonight. But even if you keep hitting Success Club, you find yourself in the same spot, right? Or how about this? How many of you feel like sometimes, even if you do achieve a goal, Success Club, 2-star, 5-star, whatever it is, Diamond, whatever it is, it feels kind of empty. It feels kind of hollow. Almost like, well, now what? Like, what's next? We're going to break through that tonight. So to change this, you have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business says that you're enough. It is so important that you understand this. You have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business says that you're enough. And it's kind of hard to feel that way when you feel kind of stuck, right? And you can change these beliefs by changing your questions. Write this down. Better questions will change your entire life. Better questions eliminate negative self-talk. Better questions will explode your business. Better questions will change your life. If you've ever faced a point in your life where you're trying to convince yourself that you're good enough or that you deserve something great, but you never really believe it, there's a reason. Like, how many of you feel like you want to believe you can achieve your big goals, but you just don't actually believe you can get there? Like, have you ever done a vision board or a goal setting exercise and you put the earn $100,000 by this date and debt free by this date or whatever it is? You write down your huge, massive goals and you're looking at them and you're going, wow, that'd be so amazing. It would change everything for me. My entire life would be different if I achieved those goals. I'm so excited about them. Oh my gosh, that would change everything. But there's that little voice back here that's just going, you're never going to get that. You know what I'm talking about? Like just that little voice kind of hiding back here, just whispering doubt and insignificance into your subconscious mind. That's what we're going to change. And we can't do it all in an hour, but here's a great start to it. So first, what is thinking? Thinking is nothing more than the process of asking yourself a question. That's all thinking is. So we're going to change the questions we ask ourselves. If you focus on asking yourself bad questions, you get really bad answers. For example, why am I so fat? How many of you have said that to yourself? Right? If you say that to yourself, guess what you find? You find all the reasons, and then it doesn't sound very good, it doesn't feel very good. But how many of you, what if you switch it up and you say, like, why is it so easy to live a great lifestyle or a healthy lifestyle? When you ask those questions, you find more empowering answers, don't you? Or when you say, why aren't I enough? Or why am I stuck? Or why is my business not growing? Or why is it so much easier for other people? Those are bad questions. They keep you stuck. The opposite is, why am I worthy of this? Why can't I do this? Why am I more than enough? Why am I so healthy? Whatever it is. And when you focus on bad, you get bad answers. When you focus on good, you get good answers, right? The mistake I made is I thought I just had to keep hitting Success Club. And yes, you do. You absolutely got to keep hitting Success Club. That's your baseline every single month. That's your business metric. But there comes a point where you keep doing it over and over and over again, and your volume and team still isn't growing. So let me show you an example to make this more real for you. Look around the room that you're in right now and count the number of things that you can find that are red. Ready to go. Count the number of things that are red. Look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Count the things that are red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Look for red, 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 look for red. Did you find a lot that was red? How many, show of hands, what, 5, 6, 7? How many did you find? Cool. How many things did you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for blue. You weren't looking for it, right? It doesn't matter how many things you found that were red. You didn't find any blue, right? But check this out. Look around your room right now and count the number of things that you can find that are blue. Check this out. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. The words on Megan's whiteboard can count as blue. I think they're blue. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Look for blue. This pen can count as blue. Look for blue, look for blue. How many more things did you find that were blue? And how many of you saw green and pretended it was blue just so you would feel successful at this exercise? So how does this relate to Beachbody? What you just proved to yourself is that when you focus on one thing, you can't find the other. And when you focus on the other thing, you can't find the first thing, right? Whatever you look for, you find. There's this piece of your brain called the reticular activating system. And its job is to fizzle out all the crap you're not looking for. Have you ever been in the market for a car? And the second you decide you want to buy a 2017 Ford Fusion, that car's everywhere. Every stoplight, every stop sign, every street corner, everywhere. Why? Because you started looking for it. So your brain's doing its job. So when you focus on what you don't want, meaning why is it so hard? Why can't I do this? Why am I so stuck? Why am I so fat? Those are the seeds of doubt and skepticism and pain. And those thoughts will grow in your mind like weeds. So Jim Rohn has an amazing quote that says, stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. Stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. What does that mean? That means that unless you flood your mind with blue, meaning what you want, it will automatically find what you don't want. It will automatically look for what's wrong. So why is that? The reason is because your brain has no interest in making you happy. Your brain's job is to make you survive. That's it. At any moment in time, your brain is looking for what to protect you from. That's its job. It's a survival mechanism. 2 million years ago, you weren't worried about how you were going to invite on Facebook. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger that was hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your kid. That's what you were worried about, right? We haven't evolved. We have the same survival-based brain making our decisions. So if we don't reprogram that brain, we will automatically find what's wrong. When it comes to going after big goals in your business, that could lead to rejection, that could lead to failure, that could lead to mistakes, whatever it is. And focusing on your brain is literally doing its job saying, whoa, 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 don't go after that. Don't set a bigger goal. You could come up short. So if you're ever an asshole to yourself, it's just your brain doing its job. That's all it is. It's your brain literally just doing its job. So it's natural. That means stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds will grow automatically. You need to find a way to program your mind with blue so it doesn't have an opportunity to find red, because it will naturally find that unless you reprogram it. So let's do an example related to your business. Say to yourself, why is it so hard to build my team? Just say that in your own mind. Why is it so hard to build my team? What happens? Notice that you look for answers. And how motivated do you feel when you look for that? Not motivated at all, right? Yep, excuses, 100%. You don't feel motivated at all. Even when you read positive thinking, self-help books, all this stuff that help you take your life forward, it doesn't change the fact that you have this voice in your head that says you're not enough, right? I shared a couple stories a minute ago about where my biggest limiting, yes, I can't afford it, it's a great one. I shared a couple stories about where my biggest limiting beliefs came from, right? Money is hard to make, money is bad, and I'm not enough. But what are yours, right? Like, maybe type yes if you can relate to any of these, whether past or present. Why isn't my team doing anything? Or why can't I get it right? Or why don't people want to join me? Or why don't I know enough people? Or I'm not pretty enough? Or I'm too fat? Or why is it so hard to lose weight? Or why am I so broke? Or why can I never catch a break? Or why does it seem so much easier for other people? Or why can't I do anything right? Or will I always be this stuck? How many of you guys are mean to yourself like that? Those are disempowering red questions. And it doesn't feel very good to ask those, right? I bet it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination. There you are looking at your life, frustrated with the results you're getting, and no matter how much someone tells you they believe in you, no matter how many times you see other people crushing it, there's that little voice that says, nope, you're never gonna do this. You know what I'm talking about, or am I crazy? So when you set a goal, your dominant beliefs will determine if that goal comes true. You know that. And setting goals is nothing more than the process of trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. That's what goal setting is. You're trying to create a new reality. The gap in the middle is whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. That's it. That's it. It's whether you're looking for red or looking for blue. And until that language is consistently blue, you're going to find it incredibly difficult to get to your goals. And I know this because I lived it. You're going to feel stuck. And even if you do happen to stumble upon success, it's going to feel empty. So let's just use the example of why is it so hard to grow my team? Notice how your brain actually looks for an answer, right? Ask it, why is it so hard to grow my team? Your brain actually looks. And even if you're successful, you start to question yourself. That's how insidious negative self-talk is. Something you need to understand is that your entire life can be changed by asking better questions, more empowering questions. Write this down. Your brain is a Google search engine. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever the hell you type into that search bar. So unless you take control of what you type in, it will automatically spit out red answers. Does that make sense? So what if you intentionally reverse it? If your responses are just like Google, it means you're going to get an answer whatever you type in. So change what you type into your mental Google, like intentionally. Your brain's looking for an answer anyway, so you might as well ask it a question that's going to lead you to a life that you actually want. When you say, why is it so hard to build my team? What does your brain do? It finds all the reasons why it's so hard to build this business. That's what you focus on. So when you sit down to work, your brain is literally looking for every reason why you should stay stuck and why you're not capable. Same thing with weight loss, same thing with marriage, everything. So you don't send the invites in that situation, you scroll Facebook. You don't support your clients, you wonder why more aren't coming to you. You don't love and serve your teammates like a servant leader would. You check in with them like your mom would the first week of college. You force them to act. And what's crazy is that there's amazing people and opportunities that stumble across your life every freaking day. But because your software is running on why is it so hard, and that's your primary question, self-sabotage steps in. You won't even notice the incredible opportunity sitting right in front of you. You won't even notice that person sitting on the park bench that you could start a conversation with that has high blood pressure and you could literally save their life with Shakeology. You won't even notice them. You won't even notice the mom that lives next door that has no idea how she's going to pay for her kid's college education, and you have her freedom trapped in your mouth right now. You won't even notice it because you're looking at why is it so hard. So blue is everywhere. You learn that when you look for that Ford Fusion example, right? So try this. Ask yourself, why is it so easy to build my business? Why is it so easy to build my business? What happens? You still look for an answer, right? You start to find all the reasons why you can't. How many of you guys are new coaches, brand new? Brand new, Emerald's your next rank, or maybe Diamond's your next rank. Let's use Diamond. Ask yourself this, why is it so easy to hit Diamond in March? Why is it so easy to hit Diamond next month? What happens? You go, oh shit, it's only 8 people. And you start to focus on the opportunities, the people you could reach out to, the sacrifices you can make to build your business. Can you imagine if you flood your mind with this every single day? And here's the key. You don't have to have the answer. You don't need to find the answer. It's not about finding the answer. You just need to live in a question that leads you to the life that you want. Because when you're in the right state of mind, and you know what you want and the direction you want to go, the how will reveal itself. Always remember that. You don't need to know how. I guarantee you when Megan started this team, she had no freaking clue how she was going to get to where she is now. The how will reveal itself. She figured it out. But live in an empowering blue question. Every problem you face is just a question you haven't asked yourself yet. That's it. Every problem you face is just a question you haven't asked yourself yet. For your life and your business, what you're going to do then is you're going to write down, after we finish here in about 30 minutes, what you're going to do is you're going to write down all the disempowering stuff you ask yourself on a regular basis. Why am I so broke? Why is my business not growing? Why am I stuck? Why am I fat? Why does my husband always annoy me? Whatever it is, you're going to write all these disempowering things down. Every area of your life, not just Beachbody. This is life coaching, guys. That's what I do, right? Every area of your life, write it down. You're going to flip it into its empowering alternative. So that doesn't mean saying, why is it so easy to no longer be fat? That's not empowering. That's still focused on red, still focused on what you don't want. It's, why is it so easy to live a healthy lifestyle? It's, why am I so wealthy? It's, why is my business booming? It's, why is it so easy to lead my team? It's, why am I a diamond coach? It's, why am I a great leader? Do you see that? See the difference there? It's focusing on what you actually want, the dream, not avoiding the negative. And so if you ever wonder why affirmations don't really work that well, they work if you do them with enough emotional and power and intensity. Like if you're really emotional about it, affirmations will work because you link it to your nervous system. But have you ever noticed that when you say, I'm a 15-star diamond coach, or I'm a 10-star diamond coach, or I'm a 5-star diamond coach, your brain goes, no, you're not. You ever notice that? Like that's what happens when you do an affirmation. Your brain goes, no, you're not. Right? That's why a question is so empowering. It's why a question helps, right? Because you go, why am I a 5-star diamond coach? You go, well, let's find out. How can I get to 5-star? That's what you start doing. Your brain actually works with you instead of against you. There are 2 questions that changed my entire life. 1, why am I so kind to myself every day? That's number 1. Why am I so kind to myself every day or today? And number 2, why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Why am I worthy of living an amazing life? Right? And Kylie, you can turn that into, why is it so easy to inspire people to commit? Right? That's a great example of switching it around. Right? Guys, life gets 100% easier if you're just 1% nicer to yourself. Life gets 100% easier if you're 1% nicer to yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these new empowering questions and you're going to literally flood your subconscious mind with blue. You're going to make it so that that fear-based brain, that survival-based brain doesn't even have a chance. My wife probably thought I was crazy. Because I would literally, I still do this. I still listen to my empowering questions. I recorded them with tons of emotion on my phone. I would listen to them while I walk the dog, while I do the dishes, while I take a shower. I listen to them while I sleep, right? Because I'm programming my mind with what I want, with blue. So I don't even give that survival-based brain, red, a fighting chance, right? So can you imagine, like if you had Post-it notes all over your house, or if you had that recording, or if you had, for example, a Post-it note on your car dashboard, and the last thing you read before you walked in the door from work was, why is it so easy to fall in love with my spouse again today? And that's the last thing you read before you walk in the door. How would your relationship be different forever? How would it be different forever? You walk in the door so differently, wouldn't you? Or what if you had an alarm that went off on your phone 5 minutes before your kids got home from school that said, why is it so easy to be such a loving mother today? And that was the last thing you read, or the last thing that went off on your phone before your kids walked in the door. How would their lives change forever from one question? Because you're instilling that new sense of energy in them. That's how your life can change. Guys, your life will change if you do this. That's a promise, a guarantee. It absolutely will. It changed my life. It changed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my clients' lives. So what you're doing is you're watering, you're planting new thought seeds, right? And you're watering them daily with a question. Right? That's what you're doing. And then you're stopping you're going to stop watering the red plants, right? You're going to let those weeds die in your garden. You're going to put weed killer on them. And now the only thing that you're going to water are the blue plants. Within less time than you think, your garden is going to be absolutely gorgeous and blooming with so many colors and giving your life oxygen again. Like, can you imagine, like, if you did that and you had this amazing garden, follow the metaphor, full of blue flowers, like, how would that come off to everyone? How would it affect your invites, every part of your life? You'd feel alive again. And when you feel alive again, what's interesting is that business gets easier. It gets easier. If you ever see these people that just crush Success Club like nothing's going on, right? It's because they feel alive. If you feel like you're forcing things all the time, and you're trying to force out content and all that stuff, and you're just forcing your business, there's a reason people aren't joining you. It's because you don't feel alive. You need to master your mindset if you ever want your business to grow. You need to learn how to be happy if you ever want your bank account to grow. Is this one mindset strategy helpful? Think you can use this in your business and your life? Yeah? All right, I got 2 more for you. Number 2, write this down. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. Your problem is not the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? That means that when you're so emotionally attached to your goals coming true, you actually push those goals away from you. You actually make them harder to achieve. And even if you do achieve them, it feels empty. So don't take this to mean that you shouldn't be excited or passionate about goals. You absolutely should. be excited and passionate about goals. You absolutely should get your hopes up. Go for it with everything you've got. But what I mean is, when your happiness is dependent on a goal coming true, you are making that goal so much harder to achieve. How many of you have felt either one of two situations, or both? One is where you're pushing really hard for a goal, and it's like it's just out of reach every single time you go for it, right? You lose 5 pounds, or you lose 5 pounds, you gain 7, right? 2 steps forward, 2.5 steps back, right? Just out of reach every time. That's option one. Or option two is you push after these goals with everything you got, you find the right strategy, somehow you get to the goals, but it feels so freaking empty, and it feels hollow, and it feels like there's nothing there for it. The reason is because you're attached. The reason is because your happiness is dependent on a goal. When you have a mindset of, this must happen and then I can be happy. This must happen and then I can relax. This must happen and then I can be fulfilled. When you come up short on a goal, which by the way, you will sometimes, how does it feel? It feels freaking horrible, right? It feels like your self-worth takes a little bit of a hit. And it leads to compounding negative self-talk. You saying, I'm not enough. You saying, I can't do this. And it's just compounding over and over and over again. So you start to believe that you'll never be able to do this. When you start to build a business that way, isn't it just incredibly overwhelming and intense to try to solve that? It feels insurmountable. It feels defeating because you have no idea what to do. So you just start to accept that you're stuck, when in reality, that's BS. Your challenges are just a question you got to answer. They're not responsible for your happiness. And huge important note here, and this is the overarching focus of my entire course and everything that I teach. Business, success, and weight loss will not cause happiness. Business, success, and weight loss and money will not cause happiness. Happiness causes those things. Happiness creates success. Happiness is step one. If you don't know how to be happy, which by the way is trainable and a skill, that's what I do in my profession. If you don't know how to be happy, you're never going to get to your goals. And even if you do happen to stumble upon them, it's going to feel hollow. Happiness and appreciation for the journey and the challenge and honoring that struggle is how you overcome the challenge. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed stuck for so many years. You don't need to find an external answer. The journey you're on right now is the answer. Right? When you see where you are right now as wrong, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for unhappiness, and you're not allowing yourself to listen to the lesson that life's trying to teach you. Life will keep pounding lessons in your head over and over and over again until you finally listen, right? So if you view where you are right now as wrong, whether that's weight loss, whether that's money, whether that's your business, anything, if you view it as wrong, like you shouldn't be there or you should be somewhere else, you're never going to get to that somewhere else. Where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. You are here for a reason, and you need to find the blessing in that and the beautiful piece of that, or else you're never going to get to where you want to go. So this is why Shaun T always talks about in his programs, you have to love your body now if you ever want to create that better body, right? Because right now, that's all you got. So if you hate all you've got, how are you going to create more? It doesn't make any freaking sense, right? So write this down. Seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. What does that mean? That means loving your body and your life and your health and your business where it is now. When you can start to love where you are now, that's where business grows. That's when it happens. So step into the common sense corner for a second. If you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, whatever you believe is fine, just play ball with me here. And whether you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and you have person A and person B down in your creation, right? And person A is that person that's going, this just freaking sucks. I'm too fat, too broke. I don't know enough people. So much easier for other people. It's raining outside. It means traffic's going to be crappy, right? That person that focuses on the negative and always tries to put a smile on, but deep down is just suffering inside. That's person A. Person B is that person that goes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to lose 100 pounds. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. And I'm so excited to lead a 10-star diamond team. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure out. It's going to be so much fun to get there. And oh my gosh, in the summertime, there's these little bees that fly around, and they're like 1/100th of my size. And they have so much courage. They'll sting you if you come up too close to them. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. This place is so cool. I'm learning so much. So if you're God, the universe, whatever you believe in, step into the common sense corner. You have person A and person B. Are you going to give more to the person that's bitching about less? Or are you going to give more to the person that loves what they already have? Food for thought. So seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. You hear the term abundance get thrown around in my industry all the time. That's all it means. Like abundance, like you hear it all the time. All it means is you love where you are now and you're excited about what you're going to create. That's abundance. Abundance 101. There you go. Scarcity is, I hate where I am right now and I'm afraid I'll never get to have more. That's scarcity, right? That's what it means. And so what's awesome about this one skill is that it means you don't need to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. Because instead of slamming down on that gas pedal to get to your destination, and you're sitting there, and just follow this metaphor for a second, you're death gripping that steering wheel, right? You're slamming down that gas pedal, and you're not going anywhere. And your tires are burning out, smoke's going everywhere. See all these other cars flying by you on the highway to success, and you're going, what am I doing wrong? Why am I so stuck? And you're just death gripping that steering wheel, screeching down on that gas pedal, the tires are screeching, going everywhere, but you're not moving. You realize the only thing that's been wrong the entire time is that your emergency brake is on. That's it. Your emergency brake is on. To go further faster, you don't need to push down harder. You just need to release the brake. That's it. That's all that's going on right now, right? It seems like it's taking a step back because we've got this workaholic mindset instilled in us, and that's how I was too, this perfectionist mindset. But when you take a step back and you love where you are, you can finally learn the lesson to get to the next level. But when you're just slamming down, you're never going to learn it, right? Most people try to climb this mountain of success saying, I'll be happy when, right? Type yes if that's you. I'll be happy when, put your goal on top of the mountain. I'll be happy when I get there. The problem with this is that it's the same thing as trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on, right? If you did that, it would take you way longer to get to the top, right? You trip, you fall, you break a couple bones, you lose the trail. And even if you magically happen to get to the top, you're not going to be able to see any of the beauty. You're just going to feel hollow and empty inside. So what if you just take that blindfold off? What if you appreciate the scenery of the climb? What if you enjoy the journey of getting to the top? All of a sudden, every part of that hike becomes beautiful. And the top becomes so much more rewarding because you loved how you got there. When you're in a state of this must happen, and then I can be happy, how does that come off to your team? How does it come off in your social media posts? How does it come off to your prospects, or more importantly, your husband or wife, right? It's just degrading. It brings you down. And most of you are trying to build a business this way. Guess what? It's not going to work. And again, even if you do happen to stumble upon that successful piece, it's just going to feel empty. So what if you let it go? And what if you just chill and you be okay and happy either way? What if you take the blindfold off and you love the ups and the downs, the valleys and the peaks? What if you become committed to the goal, super pumped about it, committed, excited about going on that hike, and committed to loving the hike, committed to loving the climb? What if you do this for the experience of hiking, not just the summit? What if you were committed to your dreams instead of attached to your dreams, saying you'll be happy once you get there? And what if every single day you decide to do your vital behaviors for the growth you experience instead of just the outcome? What if that's what you change tonight? You decide to go after this for the growth you experience. What if you did it to become a better person? What if you did it for the climb and not just the peak? How would you look at everything differently in your business when you operate that way, from a state of commitment instead of attachment, loving the journey, right? When you operate from that way, even when that trail seems to be going down away from that mountaintop, and AKA a coach quits, you get a return order, you gain 5 pounds, you drop in rank, whatever it is, even if it seems like you're going down and away from that mountaintop, because you're doing it for the growth, you still get a result. You still get a positive result because you learn something instead of hate something. And you realize it's just the trail of life leading you around a big cliff that's going to lead you to your ultimate goal or destination. So what if you decide to do this for the growth? Like, that feeling you have in your heart where you feel like you're forcing things all the time and you're not getting nearly enough results for the effort you're putting in? What if that went away tonight? And what if you become alive again and your energy becomes contagious again? Like, how would your life change? Living this way makes success easier. This is why the rich get richer, because it's easy to be successful. It's so hard to stay stuck because we overcomplicate it, right? Complexity is the enemy of execution. So in your own mind, if you have all these things going on about why you're not at the top yet, you're going to make everything more complex, so you're going to stay stuck. But if you just realize that you're exactly where you need to be and you look for the good of that situation, You keep things simple, success becomes easy. So like I said, I can't get into the whole system of how to do that in 1 hour. That's what my course is for, that I'll talk to you guys about at the end. But I can give you one final tip that will make living this way so much easier. So much easier. You guys got time for one more? Okay, cool. So I call this the secret sauce. Okay? I call this the secret sauce. You might know this as genuine gratitude. Now raise your hand if you have a gratitude practice that you do regularly right now. Raise your hand if you have a gratitude practice. Okay, so some of you guys do, but some of you guys also, and challenge yourself if this is you. When I say gratitude, I don't mean, why is my business stuck? Why can't I do this? Why is it so much easier for other people? Like, why am I not enough? Why am I so fat? But I love my kids. That's not gratitude. That's you trying to feel better about complaining about your life. That's not actually gratitude. Gratitude is something you feel in your heart. It's something deep. It's something real. It's something emotional. So this is so important to understand. It is impossible to feel pain when you are deeply grateful. Literally impossible. It is impossible to feel any disempowering emotion that stops your business when you are deeply grateful. This is how gratitude is a business tool, not something that people do just to feel good sometimes. It is a business tool, and you will learn how to solve any problem in your business in just a few minutes. I'm going to take you through a really powerful exercise. But those painful situations, right? A coach quitting, or even a death in the family, whatever it is, that's pain. That's coming. But suffering from that pain is your choice. It's optional. It's up to you. And gratitude is how you beat that. It is literally impossible to feel depressed and grateful simultaneously. It's impossible to feel anxious and grateful simultaneously. It's impossible to feel angry or defeated and grateful simultaneously. It's like trying to be sad and jumping up and down in the mirror naked. It doesn't work, right? It's just not going to happen, right? So when you're grateful, remember, focusing on your good, whatever is good in your life, seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. So opportunities and solutions and just strategies and ways to solve your problems come to you so much faster when you love the life you already have. You attract things, right? This is where you hear magnetic success and all those terms. It's because people are grateful. So let's have some perspective first. Think about this, like logically right now. You're watching a video about mindset from anywhere in the world right now. You're probably on a couch or at a desk. You probably have a blanket on or a cozy sweatshirt or sweatpants. Probably can take your kids to the doctor or take yourself to the doctor to get medical care. You can probably take your dog to the vet to get treated for hot spots on their arm or whatever it is. You can probably turn on your Apple TV tonight and watch Friends or that Tidying Up show or whatever is on Netflix right now, right? You can probably do all of that. And most of you will take that for granted when there's someone that is going to commit suicide in the next 2 minutes. It's pretty powerful, right? When there's a mother out there that's literally going to watch her baby starve to death tonight. When there are people out there injecting needles into their arms to cope with pain right now. When there are countries that still live in communism, when most of this world lives on $2.50 a day, $900 a year. If you are in the bottom 1% of this country, you are in the top 1% of the world. You're so accustomed to the miracles happening around you every day that you don't even see them as miracles anymore. Most of you probably view miracles as scarce and don't appreciate how literally everything around you was once an idea or a thought. This team was once an idea that Megan had. That's all it was. It was an idea, right? Which proves that you can create miracles at any second if you want to. We have the tendency to let go of gratitude and make it a rule that we can only be happy if that next thing happens. And just like we talked about a minute ago, that is setting you up to suffer in life. If you can take away one thing from this entire talk, it's the following sentence. Nothing has to happen for you to be happy. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And as long as you structure your life in a way where your happiness is dependent on something you don't control, a goal or what someone says or how someone acts, whatever it is, then you will never be fulfilled in your life. You will always be stuck. Even if you have success and money and whatever it is, you could be winning at life and feel like you're losing because the scorecard you're using to measure success is unfair because it only allows you to feel happy if that next thing happens. And this is so important to understand. Achievement without gratitude is total failure. Achievement without gratitude is total failure. You are breathing. You are alive. That should be enough to smile about. And if you're smiling, business gets easier. Like a lot of you have these high expectations of your spouse, your kids, your team, your volume, your sales, whatever it is. And when your life conditions, meaning the way life is right now, doesn't match up with how you think it should be, you get frustrated or sad or depressed. Like you have these expectations or rules of what needs to happen in order to feel successful. You need to let that go. Gratitude is one of the strategies to do that. And again, I don't mean the BS gratitude where you complain about your life and then journal about 2 great things. I mean real, genuine gratitude, because your view of life literally determines your future. So every single day, condition your mind to be grateful, and slowly the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelm, the fear, the negative self-talk, you're not going to notice it as much anymore. You're going to become excited about every single day. Guys, I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years. I know exactly what you face in your business. I went through a period of time, and as I go through this story, keep typing yes as you hear a piece that relates to you. I went through a period of time where I knew what I wanted so bad, but I'd find myself on the couch having these like bad days, right? Like 4 days a week. And I was like just down and depressed. It was like this perfection and guilt crazy 8 loop, right? Where I had to do all of my to-do lists, and if I didn't get to my goal, I just felt so down about it. And then I'd be all pissed off at myself, go wallow in my sorrows, and then I'd feel guilty for not doing it. And then I'd go and try to be perfect again with everything I was doing, and it was like perfection, guilt, perfection, guilt, perfection, guilt, and I was just stuck. And then I ended up going into sadness, depression, anger, and I was sitting on the couch with my laptop literally going, dude, change your life. You have all the tools you need to do this. But I couldn't get myself to do it. Like I couldn't find the motivation to do it. Does that make sense? And I just like didn't care, but I cared so much at the same time. And I just didn't know why I couldn't peel myself off the floor and get moving again. And what's interesting, and type yes if you can relate to this, I was pissed off at myself for being depressed. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could be. I was pissed off at myself for staying stuck. I was pissed off at myself for literally saying no to doing this hard work that I knew I needed to do. And I knew how to do it. I was pissed off at myself for being less than I could be. And from practicing what I teach in my course that I'll tell you guys about in like 10 minutes, what I noticed is that the periods of anxiety and depression that kept me stuck, that happened multiple times a week, started to happen once a week. And then it was once every 2 weeks, month, 6 months, year. Now, my natural default setting is genuine happiness. Like no bullshit, genuine happiness, where I wake up with a smile and go to bed with a smile. And yes, there are days, once in a blue moon, where I get the whole woe is me, piss at the world feeling. Everyone does. That makes you human. But I can literally get out of it in 3 minutes using the skill of gratitude. In fact, what I learned from one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, is that you can solve any problem in your life using gratitude in 3 minutes. You can either solve any problem or find direction in a challenging time using gratitude. So what I'm about to take you through is something I learned from him. I do not take credit for it. This is something that he taught me, but it's so powerful that I need to teach this to you guys because it's so incredibly powerful. So get somewhere where you can allow yourself to feel fully emotional and vulnerable. Like if you know that being on video is going to decrease the amount of emotions you'll allow yourself to feel, turn your video off. Like serious, turn it off. It's totally okay. Like turn your phone off, put the kids in a different room, be fully present here. Give yourself this gift over these next 5 minutes. Just whatever you got to do, be fully present. And if you're good to go with the video on, awesome. So what they found when they measured someone trying to solve a problem from a state of stress and anxiety and expectation, they measured the brain waves and the heart waves at the same time, EKG and EEG. And they saw that they were jagged and all crazy on the charts. It was literally chaos on screen, okay? And what they found was when someone got into a deep state of genuine gratitude, the EKG and the EEG aligned and they became smooth and they were going exactly in flow with each other. Exactly, like side by side and smooth. And the person could solve a problem in an instant. So you don't have to understand how this works. Just know that it does. Okay, so this is what I learned from him. Get somewhere where you can feel vulnerable and picture something in your life that stresses you out on a scale of 1 to 10, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Just something that stresses you out, some unfinished business, something that you don't know how to solve, something where you feel stuck in some way, just something where you don't know how to have a breakthrough here. And it's causing you so much pain. Raise your hand if you have your stressor, just so I can see. You got your stressor? Cool. Sit up straight, close your eyes. Sit up straight, close your eyes. Keep them closed until I tell you to open them. It's going to be a few minutes. Shake your body out. Got your stressor? Awesome. Take a deep breath in your nose and exhale out your mouth. Deep breath in your nose again and exhale out your mouth. And notice how your breath has already calmed your mind. Now take both your hands, and trust me on this, physically put both your hands on your heart and feel the power of your heart beating in your chest right now. And as you breathe, breathe deep into that heart. Breathe in through your nose, big deep breath in, and imagine it flowing through your heart and then back out your mouth. Just breathe this way, big deep breath in, through your heart, back out your mouth. And keep your hands in your heart the rest of this exercise and feel it beating in your heart right now. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day. 100,000 times a day. It beats even when you sleep. You didn't have to buy your heart. You didn't have to earn it. Something thought enough of you to give you this amazing gift of life the second you were born. You have inherent worth because this heart is beating in your chest right now. So take a second and just appreciate the fact that you even have this amazing gift of life right in front of you right now. It's in your chest right now. It's the best gift you could have ever received. So take in just that deep feeling of appreciation and gratitude and think of all your heart has led you to in your life. Where is your life now because of your heart? What have you been able to experience? What beautiful memories have you been able to experience because of this amazing gift of life? And just appreciate it and just love it and feeling it beating in your chest right now, breathing deep into your heart. And now go to, what's a memory in your life that you can feel just deep feelings of gratitude for? What's a moment, a memory that you can step back into that moment and just feel so deeply grateful? What is it for you? And instead of seeing that moment from the outside, step back into that moment like you're there. Relive that moment. See exactly what you saw then. Feel what you felt then. Experience the same emotions all over again, like you're reliving that moment right in front of you, first person right now. Just feeling so grateful for that moment and everything it led to. It was such a gift. And take that and stack it on top of your heart, breathing deep, feeling so much overwhelming gratitude for that amazing, amazing gift of a moment in your life. And now go to a second memory. What's a second memory that you can feel just deep feelings of gratitude for? What's that moment for you? Is it when you said I do? Is it when you had your first kid? What's that moment for you? And step back into that moment like you're there, breathing deep, seeing what you saw then, hearing what you heard then, feeling the same emotions. Everything, just like it's happening, first person right in front of you all over again, and just love that memory for a second. Think of everything it led to in your life and why your life is such a beautiful gift because of that amazing memory. And take that into your heart right now and stack it on top of the other ones. And know that you have this feeling whenever you want. This is the real you. Take that in for a second and breathe it deep into your heart and just appreciate it and just love it. And now go to a coincidence. What's something in your life that you didn't expect to happen, but it did, and it led to something beautiful that you treasure in your life, a career, an insight, a person, a situation, a life change? Just what's a coincidence? Something where life was really happening for you. It's really, really amazing when we realize that's always happening, right? Life is always happening for you and not to you. Even the problems are gifts because you can grow from them. They lead to greater growth, greater aliveness, a more elevated version of you. So was that coincidence actually a coincidence, or were you being guided the entire time? So take that into your heart right now and think of everything it led to in your life. Think of where your life is now because of that coincidence. Was it you were in line at Starbucks and you met the love of your life? You didn't mean to get pregnant. Now you have an amazing family. You got a message on Facebook and now you're part of a thriving community. What's that coincidence for you that you can just love and appreciate for everything it led to? And now stack that on top of your heart and let that energy start to build for a second. And just like a flash, just like in the movie, see all these memories going past you just real quick. And just feel the gratitude for your heart beating 100,000 times a day. Feel the gratitude for that first memory. Let it flash right in front of you. Feel the gratitude for that second memory. Let it flash right in front of you. That coincidence, let it flash right in front of you all over again. Feeling so overwhelmingly grateful. And now try to triple the amount of emotional, deep feelings of gratitude you have in your heart right now. Still breathing deep, still feeling your heart. Just feeling so incredibly grateful for this amazing gift of life. And feel that energy build and let it start to radiate out of your body right now. Like actually feel it spreading. Feel it spread up through your head and out the top of your head, your arms, your stomach, your legs, your calves, your feet, just spreading in all directions like it's stemming from your heart. And just imagine just for a second that amazing energy just radiating out of you, feeling so deeply grateful for this amazing gift of life. The best, most incredible gift you've ever received is your heart. So just feel so grateful and say thank you. Just appreciate. The two most powerful words you can ever say are the words thank you. So feel so grateful for that amazing gift of life. And now, from this beautiful state, the real you, from this beautiful state, from your heart, not your head, from your heart, go back to that stressful situation that you completely forgot about. Go back to that stressful situation and repeat these words in your own mind, breathing deep in your heart. Still feel the power of your heart. Answer from your heart, not your head. In this stressful situation, all I need to remember is blank. In this stressful situation, all I need to say is blank. In this stressful situation, all I need to do is blank. Because your heart knows the answer, doesn't it? If you found direction, keep your eyes closed and raise your hand. If you found direction in a challenging time using gratitude, keep your hand raised. If you felt that, keep your hand raised. And now open your eyes and look at the percentage of people that felt the power of this. That's what gratitude does, guys. That is how gratitude is a business strategy. It's not something just to feel good. It's something real. That what you just got an insight into, that's the real you. That's the you when it's not conditioned by fear. That's the real you. Remember, it's impossible to feel any disempowering emotion or fear when you're deeply grateful. It's impossible to feel any of that. So take in what you guys just accomplished. You got an insight into who you really are. That feeling is it. And you have one shot at this life, guys, one. And most people go through life trying to stay safe, living in fear, never really going for it. You are not that person. You have one chance here, guys, one. But your clock on life is ticking. And at any moment it can run out. You do not control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You were not put here to experience mediocrity. You were meant to feel fully alive every second of every single day, and I can actually teach you how to do that. You're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be right now. The life you're living right this second is the answer to all your challenges. It's not something that's wrong. It's exactly what needs to happen. And instead of just knowing that, all you have to do to radically change your entire world, bank account, business, everything, is instill this into who you are. And when you do, game over. You began that process today. Can you imagine, though, how the world would change if this is how you woke up? If this is how you solve problems? This is how you shared to the world? If this is how you led your team? Like, what if you didn't need a team call to feel this way? This team call is not something that you're going to have the time to listen to every day, right? So you need to learn how to feel this way every day of your life. And guys, if that's something that you think you could benefit from, I'd love to take just 2 minutes and share about an amazing opportunity for you guys to move forward with this if you feel like this is that next step for you. And if not, that's okay. There's no pressure here. But if you feel like this is something that you could feel could really benefit your life, Megan and I have prepared an amazing opportunity for you to learn how to do it. If you've been pushing so hard for a goal and it seems like it's getting just further away, or you even hit a goal and it feels hollow and empty, and you don't know why every single time you push so hard, it's just met with this lack of fulfillment. And you have all these trainings in the world showing you how to use Instagram stories and inviting and all this stuff, but it doesn't seem to work for you. Or some days you crush it, some days you can't get off the couch, and you just wish you had control over your emotions, and you can't figure out what the hell is stopping you from having success and, more importantly, happiness. I've created a course that will break you through all of it. And I mean all of it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Beachbody coaches in this program. The reason you feel stuck is because you have inner conflict that needs to be resolved. And I know this because I lived it, guys. Negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, lack of worth, all of those things are keeping you stuck. And you've heard the cliches a million times: change your thinking, change your life. Appreciation Academy teaches you how to instill that into who you are. And because your leader is absolutely incredible, we have arranged an amazing discount on this program that keeps increasing based on the number of people that enroll, where you get a refund after the promotional period ends. And that counts for both a payment plan and a full pay option. So even if things are tight, this is doable for you. And by the way, if things are tight financially, like whether you invest through me or through another personal growth expert, if things are tight financially, that is why you need to invest in your growth. Because that you need to learn those skills to get to the next level. Guys, do you know who Jen Richardson is? 15-star diamond coach, million club member, 4-time elite coach. She says, and I quote, "Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success in their business." Direct quote from her. And I can go on and on with testimonials, dozens of coaches, top coaches, new coaches, you name it. The bottom line is this program will get you unstuck, and it won't just affect your business, your marriage, your happiness, your bank account, everything. It rips away the layers of pain, preventing you from being the person that deep down you're meant to be. It's not a business training. Those trainings don't work until you master this, right? This gets to the core of what stops you behind that. It teaches you how to believe in yourself, how to silence those inner demons, how to forgive people from your past, and how to live every single day with a genuine smile on your face. And this is not something where I just enroll you and you disappear. You can ask anyone in the program. I am fully invested in your success, helping you every step of the way. Just like we talked about, guys, business and success will not bring you happiness. Happiness brings you success. And this is the only course I've ever seen that teaches you how to be genuinely happy. This is how I went from stuck in my Beachbody business to genuinely fulfilled every day of my life. And it's 6 years of personal growth bundled together, so you don't need to wait that long, and the results speak for themselves. You will not find one person dissatisfied with this. So if you felt something real from this, you've been living in a memory that says you're not enough, it's time to stop believing that. It's time to stop spinning your wheels. And in this course, I will show you how to do that. You will get unstuck. That is a promise. And I give you my word, I will not betray your trust. So if you'd like to grow together as a team and you'd like to get that discount rate for this program, what you're going to do after this call is head to bradbizjak.com/teamcall. Again, that's bradbizjak.com/teamcall. And you'll be able to gain instant access to that program. So, and Megan's going to post that in the team page right after here with an image on how the promotion works. But before we hop off, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you for your time tonight. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you choose to enroll in Appreciation Academy. There's a 60-day guarantee on it, so you can try it. If it's not for you, full refund guarantee on that. But Megan, I'd love to turn it back to you just so you can share your takeaways and just overall thoughts, my friend. Thank you for having me tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to talk right now. You made me cry like a little baby. Did anybody else shed a tear? Please tell me I wasn't the only one blubbering. Okay. Oh my gosh. My team knows I'm a very firm believer on mindset. When I talk to somebody, I'm like, what are you doing for PD? I can tell you're not doing it. I pick it out of people because I'm just so mindset driven. And I know that obviously I do battle anxiety and depression, and I know how much of a mental game it is. And when you reached out, I thought it was like somebody was saying, Brad, we need something. We need to get out of, this little rut or, whatever it is. But I have so many pages of notes, and I feel like it's crazy because how do you teach someone else mindset? But at the same time, I literally have pages of notes right now that I'm just excited to just, everyone's yeah, I have notes too. No, I'm just so excited because I always talk about with my coaches, if they're struggling as coaches, go back to before you were a coach, and they're like, what? I didn't know anything. Well, yeah, you were just excited. You just wanted things to happen. You loved your journey and you just shared that part of it. And, just seriously, I can hear people when they don't do personal development, and I am sitting here dumbfounded right now because I was blubbering like a baby, and I do a crap ton of personal development. I'm not even kidding you. I do it all the time, and I preach it to my girls, and I'm, if they come to me, I'm like, what are you doing for PD? And they're just no, you didn't answer my question. I'm like, no, what are you doing for PD? That's literally the first thing I say to people. But having you do that, I'm literally just sitting there and being completely 110% just, yeah, just being grateful and stuff. It opened my mind, opened everything. So seriously, hearing that, and I know you said we can't listen to it every single day. I was well, I want it every single day. So this is definitely something that I want to do. I'm really glad you're opening it up to our team. And I'm freaking excited for like just to be genuinely happy, because there's things in life, you know, that like you could tell I was bawling in like 2 seconds. There's just things that I'm struggling with that it has nothing to do with me, but at the same time it does. And you were like, how do you, you know, get past this? And like at the end I was crying because I literally was like, I forgive this person. You know, like it was crazy. I'm shaking. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys felt it too, but I literally just like, oh my God, I'm like having like an out of body experience right now. But seriously, Brad, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what else to say. I just like, I'm shaking right now. Does anyone have anything to say? I'm pretty sure you guys are all like speechless like I am, but honestly, like, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are so freaking excited, and I'm excited to work with you this year. I think, you know, this is going to be something that like I know I needed for my business, for my life. And I love the aspect that you've been in our shoes before as a coach, but you also are like, here's life, you know, and just like kind of putting those two things together. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh, we are so blessed. We're so blessed you came to us. So thank you, Brad, so much. I will post all of your stuff in our team page, and I have been checking it out all day, and I am going to go and like figure out how to stop shaking for 2 seconds. But we ripped the Band-Aid off. You've seen me cry, you guys. So if you are on our team, you are now. But thank you so much. I will get the recording